Movies that take place where Robin Williams is a child in an adult Robin Williams body. I always was a huge fan of Jack the film, and you're a huge Hook fan.
One of the biggest tragedies of his life was starring in Jack.
Drive-by movies you're watching.
Screen Scuffle.
My name is Blaise.
And my name is James. Screen Scuffle, you might be asking. What is that? That is the new show from your boys from Drive-By Movies. This is where we have a real debate, real as in R-E-E-L, where we defend movies that we might not agree with or might not agree are the better of the two, but we are going to fight to the death defending the movie that we were assigned. This week, we are chatting about Robin Williams stuck in a little kid's body cinema movies.
How old are you?
I'm 10. How old are you?
Movies that take place where Robin Williams is a child in an adult Robin Williams body.
Yes.
So this is a debate we've always kind of had, honestly, since we've been friends. I feel like this is like one of the first times we argued was just I always was a huge fan of Jack the film, and you're a huge Hook fan. Like,
yes.
You love Peter Pan, you love Hook.
Well, maybe not Peter Pan, but I love
Okay,
Hook.
You love Hook, and you love specifically Robin Williams' Peter Pan impression. I guess
and
you
Robin
could say.
Williams in general, too. I mean, I think everyone can, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there you are, Peter.
But let's not forget, though, like, you know, Robin Williams, like, one of the biggest tragedies of his life was starring in Jack.
Okay, that's how we're going to start.
Yeah, that's how we're going to start, yeah.
Okay. How long until you bring up Cosby? I feel like, is that next? Or?
Well, I didn't even need to bring up Cosby because I was doing research, like all the like people that like the movies brought us. Steven Spielberg has found us some great directors and actors that he's discovered. Francis Ford Coppola, like, yeah, he hired Bill Cosby. I didn't even need to bring that up for this debate. But let's not forget the guy he defends and still produces. Victor Salva.
Yeah, we're not gonna go. We're not gonna be talking about Francis Ford Coppola, the great director's producing efforts. We'll just that's off the table. We're talking about Jack versus Hook here. And if you're really weighing down which filmmaker is like an artiste, it's Coppola. He's directed some of the best movies of all time, some of the worst as well. But every great artist has to direct some stinkers too. Where I feel like Spielberg's worst movies are just. They're not like Twixt, or some of Francis Ford Coppola's worst movies are like some of the worst movies that cinema has to offer.
Yeah, but look, for every classic movie he has, he tarnished it with The Godfather. He tarnished it with Godfather Part 3. And
yeah, but you're just gonna skip over Godfather Part 2 right here?
I didn't even care for the first one. Why am I gonna watch the second one? You're fighting the wrong person because I do not like The Godfather.
Well, you might wake up with a horse head in your bed tomorrow.
Oh, maybe.
It's a reference to The Godfather.
I remember.
But let's get back to Jack.
Very original.
Yeah, let's get back to Jack here. So, anyways, if we're talking about movies that really, I mean, sure, you're gonna say like, oh, you like the fact that Hook is a modern retelling.
What would the world be like without Captain Hook?
Because it's definitely outdated now, let's be honest here. But Hook is like a modern retelling of a story that everyone knows, Peter Pan. But still, like, was this a Disney movie?
I don't think
they didn't
so.
have to. Yeah, but you have to be honest. Like, whenever Disney kind of lends its rights out, almost like I just feel like all those movies are kind of lame. Like every other modern retelling of Peter Pan that we get is just always nothing can beat the original Peter Pan. So I feel like you already have that hanging over your head with Hook.
Hook already beats the original Peter Pan.
No
Do you
way.
remember the animated one whatsoever? I don't.
Yeah, but
Hook gave us Rufio. The greatest punk rock band ever. Well, maybe not the greatest punk rock band ever, but we got the cool ass character Rufio, and then we actually got the band.
That guy's
Rufio.
dead though.
I wish I had a dad.
That's a rumor. He's still alive and well today. I don't know who started that rumor in our childhood, but the actor who played Rufio is still alive and well.
No,
so.
there's no way that guy's alive.
That's a childhood myth. Yeah.
That is like a weird urban legend.
Yeah.
But anyways, that definitely detracts points from Hook, I feel like.
How? You loved Rufio. You introduced them to me, I remember. Yeah.
Okay, so anyways, one of my favorite things about Jack, I'll say, like, I like a good sentimental movie. I like a good cry from time to time. You need to let it out sometimes. And Jack, have you seen it recently?
I think you're describing the movie Big.
I still don't get it.
Is this Jack you're talking about?
This is Jack. Big is similar because I felt like Big kind of does it, but not in such a good. Like Jack is way better, where it's you get Robin Williams stuck in a little kid's body. It's a little weird, let's be honest. I mean, the elephant in the room, besides Cosby being in the film, is just, it's kind of weird where Jennifer Lopez, but I feel like it's kind of points where, like, she's hitting on, like, a man-child, I guess, in a way, with, like, the red gummy bear scene.
So, how do you like it so far?
At least he's
That's
an
a
actual
plus.
adult, though, in
Yeah,
the book. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. But, like,
Yeah.
he's a sick kid, I guess, in a way. He's spitting game at Jennifer Lopez at her prime.
No, I'd say right now is her prime. We just agreed on that literally like an hour ago. Yeah.
She ages like a fine wine.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, it's always been just the sentimentality of the fact that Jack's only on this world for a finite amount of time.
Yes.
So I may not know what I want to be when I grow up. And right now I really don't care. But I do know who I want to be like. I want to be like the giant. The big guy. My best friend. Jack.
Some of the best years of everyone's life is like their youngest, most nostalgic time, and Jack's only gonna live that. He's not gonna be depressed. He's not gonna go through a midlife crisis. I mean, honestly, if you think about the movie, he probably went through a midlife crisis when he was spitting game at his teacher, you know?
Yeah, you're still not describing what makes the movie good at all. Yeah. With Hook, I mean, can you tell me who did compose Jack?
Bruh.
I feel like it's Alan Silvestri or something, probably.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
Who is
you
it?
already know who composed Hook.
I know that's John Williams,
Of
but
course.
it's not John Williams' best score. Let's be honest.
It's
John
still
Williams
good,
has some
though.
great scores, and that's not one of them.
John Williams not at his best is still great John Williams, though.
Okay,
I can't-
so
that-
the BFG.
Yeah. Is that John Williams?
It probably
actually?
is.
Yeah.
If it's Spielberg, it's
Yeah.
John Williams.
I haven't
Ready
seen it, though,
Player
so I
One,
can't-
like
you're bringing up other movies that have nothing to do with this argument, sir.
it's adjacent. It's
Yeah.
adjacent. It's debatable.
Yeah. Well, let's take it to the people also, though. IMDb scores 5.8 Jack, Hook 6.8.
Yeah, but IMDb. Does anyone really rate like IMDb? Is not that. What does the Letterbox say? I bet Letterbox has.
Letterbox. Oh yeah. Let's see. 2.6 for Jack, and 3.3 for a Hook.
I think it's lost points because of Cosby. I feel like. I feel like people went back and hated
How
the
many
movie.
points though? It's
At least a
0.07
0.7.
behind,
Yeah,
so,
at least 0.7 to be fair.
All right, Rotten Tomatoes though, that's the problem.
That's
here,
the
though.
least trustworthy
Hook is
site.
29%, but 76% audience score. Jack though, meanwhile, has 17% and 49%, and I still win all three of those battles.
Okay. All right. Well, I didn't know that you aggregated the scores. But for me, one of the most special things about Jack is just it brings us all to that special time where, you know, we're growing up and we all wanted to be big. And then Jack was big. And he was still a little kid, so it has that fun element of wanting to be big, but you're like a little kid.
No, I'd rather fly like Peter Pan.
But it doesn't.
just
It
gotta
doesn't have the
believe.
same. But he was like, he's like stuck in right, or he grows up just normal, right?
Yeah.
Remind me about Hook, but he grows up basically normal, and then like realizes that he used to be Peter Pan as a kid. Is that what it is?
That is it.
But
yeah.
he kind of forgot it all because he got married and stuff,
Exactly.
right?
He became an adult and is
Yeah.
trying to remember his
It just
childhood.
doesn't have the magic for me, and it's funny enough that I feel like that movie doesn't have the magic, and that movie has magic involved in it. I mean,
You need to revisit it though. It still holds up, I believe.
yeah.
And also look at the supporting cast too. You have Bill Cosby, J-Lo. I'll give you J-Lo. Who else is in that one?
I mean, you have Dustin Hoffman. Are we just gonna let that slide
We also
completely?
got Bob Hoskins.
Yeah, Bob Hoskins. He's
Rest in
dead
peace.
too.
Love
So
that guy.
Rufio move right there.
We also got Julia Roberts, Professor
Eh.
McGonagall, Maggie Smith,
Jennifer Lopez. You heard of her?
Julia Roberts. You heard of her? Pretty Woman. What do you got? What's the Jersey Girl? You got Jersey Girl versus Pretty Woman.
Geely too.
Oh God, you're not winning this battle, my friend.
Man, I've just always been such a Jack fan, and I just feel it slipping away. But I feel like Hook's one of those movies that a lot of people don't go back to revisit how bad it is. It's one of those movies that a lot of people have fond memories of, and then you go back and you're like, wow, this movie's actually trash.
Nah.
Well, that's a
Got a
personal
cool
opinion.
crocodile.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I feel like
the food
crocodile-
fight scene. Didn't you always remember like how good that food looked and everything?
No, it's disgusting. That food was disgusting, and it honestly is a lame version of like Willy Wonka. Like that's a scene where I get sucked in and I'm like, oh, I wish I could eat all this candy. I think it's time to wrap this up. I think we all know who won. But anyways, for this, we're going to kind of go to our producer behind the camera to just briefly tell us who he thinks won this battle here, won this scuffle, I guess you could say.
Here's the mic.
Oh, you could just talk off mic. Or is it, I guess it's funnier with the mic.
I think it was James. Yes. Honestly.
What really sold you on his pitch there?
At least he doesn't have Bill Cosby in his movie.
Oh, so just Bill Cosby sunk my ship immediately. I wish you guys could see the last scene of Jack right now. You would shed a tear.
I don't have very much time these days, so I'll make it quick. Like my life.
I shed a tear because I just witnessed a terrible movie.
All right. I guess I take an L here, but yeah, anyway.
Let us know what you thought about it in the comments. Who won this fight? Which is the better movie? We all know you're going to write Hook down there, but
or Jack.
Yeah.
I think Jack's better in my opinion.
Yeah.
And also leave comments of other movie matchups that we could do. If you guys have any that you'd like to see us, fight it out and duke it out, go for it. Leave a comment. But anyways, guys, next episode will be coming out shortly. So keep your eyes peeled.